Hello. Today we're going to be looking at graphing inequalities in two variables. So what you're going to do to graph a linear inequality, it's very similar to graphing an equation. Okay? You're going to solve for y, so you're going to put it in slope-intercept form. Okay? You're going to graph the boundary. What that means is you're going to graph the line. If it has a less than or equal to or a greater than or equal to, we use a solid line. We use a dashed line if it's a greater than or a less than, a less than or a greater than. Then what we're going to do is we're going to shade. Now, inequalities, they don't have just one answer, right? If we get x is greater than 4, it could be 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, anything that's bigger than 4. So when we're graphing inequalities that contain x and y, right, there's going to be multiple points that work. So I'm just going to go through some examples with you. Okay? So if we look at A, we have 3x minus y is less than 2. The first step is to put this into slope-intercept form or to solve for y. So I am going to minus 3x on both sides. Now, because slope-intercept form, right, we like the x in front, I'm going to rewrite this with the x in front, so negative 3x plus 2. Now, I haven't actually solved for y yet because there's a negative in front of here, so I have to divide by negative 1. Everything gets divided. So, what I have now is y is greater than positive 3x minus 2. So remember, with inequalities, anytime you multiply or divide by a negative number, your inequality sign flips. So that's why it went from less than to greater than. Negative 3 divided by negative 1 makes positive 3, and 2 divided by negative 1 makes a negative 2. So I am going to graph just like I normally do. I need the slope, right? So my m is 3. My b is negative 2. The only other thing I need to think about is the type of line I'm going to draw and the way I'm going to shade. Since this does not have an equal with the inequality, it is a dashed line. So I'm going to start. We always start with the y-intercept, so I'm going to negative 2. Then my slope, right, is 3 over 1. So that means I'm going up 3 and to the right 1. So up 3 over 1 to the right. Up 3 over 1 to the right. Up 3 over 1 to the right. I could also go down 3 and over 1 to the left. Then I go ahead and make my line. It's a dashed line. So there we go. Now, from here, there's one more step. We have to shade. Notice how my line has cut this into two pieces. We've got the piece on, well, kind of like the left, the piece on the right. Okay? You're going to shade one of those sides. The way you decide is by your inequality symbol. Greater than is above. Less than is below. So, since this is greater than, we shade above the line. Now, if you have a hard time deciding what's above and what's below, literally go anywhere on your line, and above you draw up. So it's on this side. So I'm shading this part of the line. So everything that's above this line. Sorry, that's bad shading. That's very bad shading, but you get the idea. Okay. So everything that's above the line, we shade. So let's look at B. This one I have x plus 5y is less than or equal to 10. So I need to solve for y. So I minus the x. So I have 5y is less than or equal to negative x plus 10. And then I need to divide everything by 5. So when I divide by 5, I get y is less than or equal to negative 1/5 x plus 2. So again, that's less than or equal to. So in this case, right, my slope is negative 1/5. My y-intercept is 2. Now, since I have an equal with my inequality, it's a solid line. And since it's less than, I'm going to shade below. So those are all the things that I need to think about. So I'm going to start. So my y-intercept is 2, so I go up to 2. My slope is negative 1/5. That's mean I'm going down 1, right, and over 5 to the right. So down 1, over 5 to the right. Can't go anymore, so I'm going to go up 1 and over 5 to the left. It's a solid line, which means a normal line. And then I have to shade below. So again, if you have trouble figuring out what's above or below, literally take any spot on the line and below you draw down. So it's this half that you're shading. So I go ahead and I shade this half. And again, you guys can be better than I am about shading. It's very hard on the smart board. Ooh, that was not good. There we go. Okay, 2 more. So C, same idea. I'm going to go ahead and solve for y. So I have to add 4x. So I have 2y is greater than 4x plus 6. Then I divide by 2. So I have y is greater than 2x plus 3. So again, think about what I have, right? I know my slope is 2. My y-intercept is 3. Because it's greater than, and it doesn't have an equal with it, I know it's a dashed line. And since it's greater than, I know I'm shading above the line. So, go through the same process. I'm starting at 3, that's my y-intercept. My slope is 2 over 1. So I'm going up 2 and over 1 to the right. Up 2, over 1 to the right. I can also go down 2, over 1 to the left. Down 2, over 1 to the left. So I have dashed line. And now I'm shading above. So again, if you're not sure, grab anywhere on the line and draw up. that's above. So I'm going to shade above the line, and you get the idea about shading. So everywhere above this line would be solutions. So what this means when I'm shading above where the solutions lie is I could pick any ordered pair in this shaded area, plug it into the inequality, and it would give me a true statement. All right, last one. So here I'm going to minus x. So I have 4y is greater than or equal to negative x plus 2. And then I need to divide by 4. Everything gets divided by 4. So I have, I'm going to write this below because I'm running out of room. Y is greater than or equal to negative 1 divided by 4 is negative 1/4. So I have negative 1/4 x. And 2 divided by 4, that doesn't go in evenly, right? But 2/4 simplifies to 1/2. So plus 1/2. So in this case, my m is negative 1/4. My b is 1/2. It's greater than or equal to, so it's a solid line. And since it's greater than, right, I'm shading above the line. Now, when you have a y-intercept that isn't a nice number, it's still the same process, right? 1/2 is halfway between 0 and 1. So that's where I'm starting. And my slope is negative 1/4, so I'm going down 1. So I'm going from 1/2 to negative 1/2, and then over 4 to the right. Down 1, over 4, I ran out of room. So I'm going to go up 1 and over 4 to the left. Now I can draw my line. It's a solid line. And then above, right, I grab anywhere on the line, draw up, and that's where I'm shading. So I'm shading above the line. And again, I know my shading is bad. You guys can do a better job than I can. Okay. Now, the other ones, the word problems, we'll do those together in class. So you are done. Make sure you fill out the Google form right below this, and I will see you guys tomorrow.